draft here. We can see when people start clicking into the live situation that we are in fact going live, and here we go.
Live, and we're
live. So here we are, 30 minutes to the draft, NBA draft. Ton of stories again. And this is a second straight day where we have a ton of stuff going on around the league, left and right, breaking news all over the place. We're going to get into some of it. Trades undone, major league injuries, teams acquiring picks, a massive deal involving Al Horford, our pal Al. Joe Sway is going to give us some of the inside dope over there. And then
they're
going to get rid of him. First thing they had to do.
Yeah, and we have the clock ticking on Gordon Hayward, which is the biggest story involving the Celtics right now, and it really goes hand in hand with what they have tonight with their picks. Once again, I just want to tell everybody at home, our program here is brought to you by Manscaped. We're going to tell you all about Manscaped and all the wonderful products you can get a little bit later in the show. But first off, all you need to know is go to manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping with the code GARDEN20. That's manscaped.com, 20% off with the and free shipping with the code GARDEN20. And guys, let's get into it to start. Again, just setting the stage here. We all know this story. 4 picks, 14, 26, and 30. And with Gordon Hayward, clock ticking on the situation tomorrow. Mark Murphy, Boston Herald, just tweeting he's not seeing any movement here with Gordon. The vibe on Causeway Street is that he's not going to get dealt. And they have
what was the exact word on that tweet?
He said creeping suspicion or something that it's not going to happen. So again, let's just start with Gordon, and then we'll get into some of the draft stuff. What's your vibe here? Does something happen? Does he get moved tonight? And if not, then what?
I don't think so. The biggest holdup with Gordon Hayward right now, this is what makes it so complicated, is that you have 3 sides on this negotiation, and all the teams that are working on sign and trade deals, like the Indiana Pacers, don't want to give him 3 years, 4 years guaranteed with the way the NBA cap is working right now. So all eyes are on Atlanta. If Atlanta's a serious threat, like I think so, then they can offer him a deal like that, and all of a sudden the Celtics aren't getting much for Hayward.
I don't believe it's real.
If there's no deal in Atlanta, like John thinks, there's a pretty solid bet Hayward stays in Boston because there's no destinations for him.
Yeah, I agree with Bobby. I think Atlanta is your best bet. And if that doesn't go through, I mean, where do you go from there? I mean, obviously the Atlanta Hawks could just outright sign them. So what they're looking for is another incentive, another asset from the Celtics. And Danny Ainge, I mean, at this point, I don't know, guys. Is it too late? Is it too late to put a last-second package together that doesn't have an asset that Atlanta necessarily wants? You don't have a top pick. You have no way for them to move up into that top 4 or top 3 where they would love to get someone in there to really bolster this lineup. So then if the Celtics can't do that, I just don't see another suitor, or at least one that would be, as obvious, I guess, at this point.
Well, Jimmy, I'm going to give my 2 cents in a minute, but let's get your thoughts here. What do you think happens here with Gordon?
My first question is, when's the new deadline for Gordon Hayward? I thought it was is not
today.
So
they pushed it back to Thursday now.
Thursday. It's after the draft.
After the draft.
So, okay, just making sure. Okay.
Someone didn't do the reading.
I did, but here's the thing. I'm inching closer to what Xanis is thinking, only because it would make perfect sense for like the Hayward side to do a little bit of bluffing, right, to sort of increase the worth there. But the thing about Atlanta just doesn't seem like a good fit for Hayward. Yeah, he'll get a bigger role, but is that really the type of like a team he wants to sort of like do the next few years of his career with? Is that like the direction he wants to go? I know he's got a big family now. Like it sounds like they just moved to Indiana. I mean, I don't know. It seems kind of weird to me. Boston still seems like a good fit here. I don't know what his demands are in terms of money. But I mean, I still think based on his current roster, if he's healthy, I know it's a massive if, you can still put together a solid 1 through 6, 7 guys deep with Gordon Hayward facilitating on not only the starting unit but on the backup bench unit too.
Yeah, and again, my philosophy, and we've been texting about this, but I'll just put it out there, and we've been talking about it. I don't buy the Atlanta thing. I don't think it's real. I think it's Gordon's camp putting it out there to create.
I'll tell you why it's real, because there aren't a lot of opportunities this year for teams to kick back cap space into the future. Normally, you'd see teams.
I get it. I just don't think they're spending it on Gordon. Yeah, we saw the Mark Stein.
Who else is out there though? I think he's the best free agent.
Again, we saw the Mark Stein report there. The inside buzz is Atlanta is a prime destination for for both Gallinari and Rondo. I don't believe Gallinari goes as cheaply as you think, Bobby. I think if you look at Gallinari versus Hayward and decide who am I going to pay money for a couple of years to stick around here, are you telling me with confidence that Hayward is clearly above and beyond that, where you're going to jump 25 and 30 million over 3 and 4 years to him? I don't think so.
I think so when he's healthy.
Look at the numbers. And when he's healthy. When he's healthy. Okay.
We'll get back to that tonight. Joe Sway, let me hear it.
And I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that it's real. I don't think the Atlanta thing is real. And so I don't think they have nearly as much leverage as they want. If the Atlanta thing was real, Hayward opts out. They don't move the deadline. He's not doing this as a favor to Boston. That's friggin', let's not be naive. If he
Everyone's like, oh, he's such a good guy.
No, he's not.
If
he wants,
he might be, but
the money's there.
I don't think it's just about Boston. I think he's also looking for his own interest, obviously. He's trying to see what he can squeeze out.
If the money was there in Atlanta, he just opts out on Tuesday and then signs a deal. It's that easy. There's nothing stopping it. If he knows he's got the years in the deal, you don't need to work sign and trade with Boston where you handicap your new team by taking away assets from them before you go there.
John,
you just go there.
When's the next time the Atlanta Hawks are going to get a chance to draft in the top 4? Now, look, I'm not saying that the Celtics have a good chance of trading for one of those and swinging it over to Atlanta, but I think that's what sort of the Celtics are hoping on, or at least that some other player that these guys really want or coveting. You know, there's talk around the league that the Hawks want a playmaker or a secondary playmaker to put next to Trae Young. You know, the Celtics can. I still think Danny Ainge can, in the final hour, try to swing something so that they can appease to what the Hawks want. I mean, I don't think it's one of those situations where they're flat out uninterested in Hayward. I just think you have to sweeten the pot a bit. You have to sweeten the deal.
All right. So we've seen this movie before. This is how this goes tonight. Hayward doesn't get traded. The Celtics make all 3 picks. And at the end of the night,
no, that's impossible.
And at the end of the night,
don't you say that, John Zannis.
No, but I mean, if I'm a handicapper right now, Hayward doesn't get traded. We hold on to 14. Maybe you package 26 and 30 to move up a little bit, or you kick the can down the road. But honestly, right. I don't think there's any mobility in these picks, and I would not be stunned if they have to take them and be like, now what? And you end up with these draft and stash prospects. There's a guy in Greece. I like that guy. He's all I know about him.
He's Serbian. He plays in Greece.
There's that guy in Greece.
Yeah.
This is what they do, John. Yeah, they get to 26 and 30.
Get the Greek guy.
They trade him for future first, highly protected, and they just keep kicking it down the line because you're right. They can't draft 3 first-round picks again and have all these roster spots of all these guys, and like they don't. Eventually, they're gonna have to sell guys for 25 cents on the dollar just to create enough space in the damn locker room for all these guys. So. It seems like Celtics aren't in a position of power. And honestly, we're hearing about these other teams making trades. I know we're going to get into it, Sixers, whatnot, Thunder. But like these teams, Knicks, they're able to trade some of their picks and move up or move down. And the Celtics are just still sitting there. Danny Ainge has his treasure chest of picks that nobody wants. And now he went from having assets to having, it seems like, liabilities.
Yeah, that goes back to last year's draft, which we talked about for 2 straight months. There was a prime opportunity to consolidate. There was another one at last trade deadline. And all of a sudden, you're sitting with more picks than roster spots, which is a disaster. Now, part of this is because they overvalued that.
Centers.
Yeah, if there's any pick they overvalued, it's that Memphis one. Now, no one thought Memphis was going to be a playoff team, which they almost were last year. But still, like that's timing,
something when we look back on this little swing here, it's the timing of the Memphis and Sacramento picks, each being 1 year apart, of those teams being dreadful, and just missing on those. It's such a bummer that those ended up where they ended up. To both end up at 14 when they could have theoretically both been considerably better picks is a real gut punch on in terms of even
if you flip them and Celtics have 12 this year instead of 14,
they were really reluctant to flip Memphis.
Yeah,
because the possibility it could have been something unprotected and really high, and it doesn't happen. Memphis wins the lottery, they get John Morant. It's just then they're better. Then you get that shitty pick, and that just happened, and just tough luck there. And I think we're taking, not much movement for the Celtics tonight. I think that's what happens here.
Listen. Danny Ainge can't have his cake and eat it. If he wants to make moves, he's going to have to part with somebody other than, these stashed guys or guys that haven't been out. Like
you don't have
Marcus,
them.
I know
it's Marcus Smart.
Is Marcus Smart untouchable? I don't know. I mean, if he isn't, then that's probably your big trade chip. If you want to believe the reports, nobody wants Kemba Walker. Apparently,
wait. So all of a sudden, last night we're talking about Hayward being gone. We're talking about trading Kemba. Now it's trade Smart. Like how far up the depth chart are you going?
He's the only asset.
Danny Ainge, if you're Danny Ainge and you want to trade, you only have a certain amount of players. You already know he's not trading Tatum. He's 99% not going to trade Brown unless it's some kind of crazy blockbuster, which I don't even think he would trade for Harden. But like, if you're Danny Ainge, you're apparently trying to trade Kemba. I'm not sure I believe that, but if you are, nobody apparently wants him. Gordon Hayward has limited suitors clearly, and Marcus Smart's sitting there on a decent contract, and I'm sure he could fill a lot of teams' needs.
Yeah,
so
this goes right back to my point from last night. Run it back. Nail that 14th pick. Make a good signing in free agency. Pad some of the issues on like the middle part of the roster.
Just nail it.
Yeah. Like
okay.
in this draft in particular, there are guys.
Nail that pick.
Oh, this draft's deep though. I mean, there's going to be players who can fill roles at that 14 spot.
If you consider deep and ordinary, I mean, you're talking
define
guy. Just because every guy is the same, you're talking. There's NBA analysts out there, Bobby, who are saying once you get past pick 12, these guys are like.
Well, do you envy Minnesota, who's at number 1 and has no clue what to do? Like, it's pretty much the same here. It's not the same, but it's closer than usual.
10 or 12, you've got a shot at a player that you can project something, whether it's anything more than a rotational player. There may not be stars in this draft, but no joke, I think once you get past 12, you don't know if this guy can make your team. It's that messy of a draft. Let's get into Smart. Let's get into that. That was another story we want to hit on here. There was a report, again, this is something Bill Simmons just theorized. He kind of just imagined it into existence about this notion that the Celtics might trade Marcus Smart to Golden State in some sort of package to get them the 2 pick. And there was a report out today that was being discussed. It was on the table. Warriors countered. Celtics said no thanks, and then it went away. This is going to tie in a little bit to kind of the really bad news that the Warriors are had suffered today, which is Klay Thompson suffered a bad injury apparently, and to his right leg, and people are pretty worried that this could be something grisly. Again, it's a left ACL that caused him to miss the whole year. But this happened here. That's going to change what Golden State might want to do, and they got to figure stuff out on the fly here with the 2 pick. But Marcus deal, we talked about it then. We were pretty split on it. I was all for it, just simply because I do think you got to gamble a little bit. Not everything is certain, and I would have been willing to take a gamble there if Danny really thought there's a guy at 2 that he thinks might be the next guy. So if the Celtics can move up into that top 2, 3, 4 that they've talked about. Is Marcus on the table? What else is on the table for you guys?
I mean, if you're the Golden State Warriors, you want Jaylen Brown. I mean, that's
everybody wants
Jaylen Brown. That's the thing. It's not going to happen. So maybe that's probably where the trade talk stopped. But now that the news about Klay Thompson, maybe they changed their mind a bit. That second pick and Marcus Smart. But again, Danny Ainge is not going to just give up. Just for that second pick. I mean, we all know how he feels about Marcus Smart, let alone someone like Jaylen Brown. I think that's sort of probably the best player he's willing to send over to Golden State right now. No?
I can't see, like I said, Marcus is the only thing you're going to send, assuming Jaylen and Jason are untouchable.
Imagine Warriors fans trying to adapt to Marcus Smart from Klay Thompson. Not to shit on Marcus Smart. He's has improved his shot greatly, but just the frustration factor of Marcus Smart taking 12 threes and hitting 3 of them.
No.
Instead of Klay Thompson, just automatic from the corner. I mean, it sucks. Draymond Green tweeted prayers up, so maybe he knows something. But I mean, lower leg is almost kind of like a weird description of an injury. I mean, is it the knee? Is it the ankle? Did he break his leg? I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out by the end of the night. I can't imagine the Warriors are going to go into complete 180 mode with the draft with this information. I mean, nobody in the draft is going to replace what Klay Thompson of this year was going to get you. So I don't really know if that's really going to change a ton if they had a guy in mind. But again, if you're the Celtics and you're trying to get up, I think Marcus Smart is your chip. That isn't to say they should trade him or they are looking to trade him. But if Trader Danny wants to, put on the hat and Trader Dan, then those are the assets that he has. Exactly. Those are his assets. Jaylen Brown's not getting traded today. Jason Tatum's not getting traded today. I mean,
the asset war chest before the Celtics frustration with Danny would always be, I'm a bird in the hand guy. I'll always trade. I'll trade for something now versus something that may turn into something down the road. So to me, it's always yes. Even included Jaylen, for potentially Butler or Kawhi or when others were on the table. Sure, there's uncertainty there, but ultimately take the thing that because that's the thing that you think might happen is usually doesn't happen.
But you just said you would. Yeah. You just said you would trade for the second overall pick, so you technically don't know exactly what you're getting there.
No, I would, but in this case, you're rolling the dice because you know where your ceiling is at here with this.
With Smart, yeah, exactly. I would say. I mean, I think what you have with Marcus Smart now is probably, he might improve his outside shot a few more percentage points, but overall, I think what you see with Marcus Smart is what you get, and that's not like a Marcus Smart. I mean, he's an all-NBA defense, and he provides the spark. He's kind of like a heart and soul type player. But do Celtics fans overvalue him a little bit? I mean, does he have that same value across the NBA? I doubt it.
Well, that's the point. If other people are valuing him at a lower level than you are, you're going to be selling low on him inherently for the return always. And again, I think all of us do Smart for number 2 if you love a guy at number 2. But the Warriors look at that and say, it's like a 35% three-point shooter, great defender, but a guy who's 6'4" and can't necessarily defend every big in the league. So, like, what's the value of that to another team?
Might be awesome next to Curry, though. I mean, shoot. I mean, they aren't exactly the number 1 defensive team in the NBA last year. That's for sure.
Couple other things I want to get to because we are going to wind it down prior to the draft, but I do have to tell people again about our sponsor. Manscaped, and this is going to be the long read, boys. So our friends at Manscaped here to remind you to take care of your biggest grooming and hygiene needs from head to toe. The all-in-one Manscaped Performance Package Kit delivers the best tools to shave your body, including now most aggressive below the waist needs. That's the Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer.
3.0.
One step further. What's that, Jimmy?
No, 3.0. Wow.
3.0.
Oh, yeah, we're coming a long way, Jimmy.
Yeah.
2.0 couldn't,
if you're rolling
couldn't get through my shit.
Yeah, if you're rolling with the beta version, you're in the Stone Age.
I got to upgrade over here. I'm still on 2.0. I'm on like the iPhone 6 and the 2.0. Come on.
I know. the camera on the 3.0 is amazing. Manscaped goes one step further, released the Weed Whacker ear, nose, and hair trimmer. You've also got the Crop Preserver. That's deodorant for down below. You have the foot duster, so that's for foot odor. Manscaped cologne, forget about it, okay? Bathe in that shit. Travel bag for all your goods, including boxer briefs to hold the entire package together. Package. 20% off, free shipping, the code GARDEN, okay? Once again, 20% off, free shipping, the code GARDEN at manscaped.com. Your balls and body will thank you, okay? So the other big story we had tonight, Sixers also made a move.
Massive story.
A very interesting one. And they traded our pal Al, which is amazing. Al Horford is gone. He was traded.
1 year.
What's that?
He lasted 1 year in Philly.
This, my friends, is what they call a cautionary tale. Is it not?
Oh, it is.
Okay. Al Horford thought the grass was greener in Philly, went over there. Apparently, from his family's tweets, Josue hated every living minute of it.
But
bad fit on the court.
I think he knew the grass wasn't greener. I just think he knew the money was greener.
The money, right. But hated the fit, hated playing on that team. And this is, I mean, how bad is it to hate it as much as he did coming from the Kyrie environment here? And all of these fans screaming at him, calling him average Al. He goes to Philly. He hates the fans. He hates the fit. Has a terrible year on the court. Never could really find his way. Now he's shipped to Oklahoma City. May he rest in peace. We
may never hear from him again.
Oh. That's just hell.
But Oklahoma City Thunder got some weapons, though. You know that those young guys, he'll blend right in. It'll be like when he first came to Boston. He was playing with Evan Turner and Isaiah Thomas, man. They'll be fine.
You would have to pay me 10 times the salary to live in Oklahoma City versus a real city like Boston or Philly or New York or something. There's no amount of money. $300 million a year? I don't know. Maybe.
John, you make me feel better about all that shade I was throwing at Milwaukee. Jeez.
Milwaukee's not bad. I mean,
I've never been. Maybe Oklahoma's worse. I don't know. I've never been.
Okay.
Well, there's oil money there, and then right below that will be Al Horford. The Horford situation is so perplexing. Like, this Philly organization, we've shit on them so many times here on this program because they deserve it. Like, you're going one way, then you go 180 and completely turn around on that. If you're investing $130 million in a player, and then all of a sudden including picks to dump them the next off season, what are you doing as an organization? You have no mindset. You have no philosophy. You have no plan. You're just jumping from GM to GM every year. Well, why are you doing that?
Well, you cut your losses. New guy comes in and he says, I don't like this, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. And you get to it.
So what are you going to build? Like, every single year, the philosophy changes there. And all of a sudden, you're stacking different people's guys on top of each other. And it still blows my mind that they're not involved in this Harden talk. Like, come on, your roster's a mess. You have players that don't fit together.
Well,
you have different GM guys. Like, this is such a disaster. Now the trade's not bad. I agree with that. No, it's a good trade.
You don't think they're trying to make space for Harden?
I think here's the thing. I believe there was a report tonight that they're going to at least try to see if Simmons and Embiid can fit a little bit longer. I think that's bullshit. I think if the right move is there, they pull that trigger right away. I just don't know which guy it is, but I've always thought it's Simmons over Embiid that gets traded because it just doesn't fit with Morey's style. He can't shoot. It's not the type of thing that they want to do.
He won't shoot.
Coward.
Well, that's the thing, Bob. It's like, okay, I mean, Morey comes in, Doc Rivers comes in. This is a brand new organization for all intents and purposes. So, of course, it's, out with the old, in with the new. And I mean, that's why I think, like Joe Sway just mentioned, like, they are now positioning themselves at least to have an opportunity at Harden. Yeah, wouldn't that would throw a huge wrench into things, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because Morey goes big. He's not going to go in there and just, let's wait it out a year and see what we have. Like, he's going to make moves right away, and here we go,
They need to dump Horford. It just goes back to the fact that they never should have signed him. They never should have signed him. It was an absurd move. They let Jimmy Butler
go. It's amazing they dumped him
to facilitate it. Yeah, it's a miracle they did it for this too.
It was a panic move because they thought that he had so much real estate in Joel Embiid's head that it would be better for Joel to have him as a teammate as opposed to an opponent.
Plus addition by subtraction. You remove an asset from a team that you're trying to get through.
They were
there.
So scared of the Celtics, man. I'm telling you.
And I think that was real as well, but they didn't quite think it through. And you know what I always love? I love super team. I love preseason super team posters when you see these guys and it's Embiid
looked ugly.
And it's Tobias Harris, Horford, Embiid, and Simmons. Like, who's gonna stop these guys? And then you look back at it and like, oh my god, it was like the Celtics with Kyrie. Everyone's having fun. It's gonna get crazy, and like, it's just so funny to look at.
It's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, he was right. He was right about that. It did get crazy.
It did get crazy, G. Yeah.
She had no idea.
He's looking back like I have no exactly. You have no idea.
And when the Sixers signed Doc Rivers as their head coach, they may as well have just traded all their draft picks at that point, anyways. Because Doc doesn't give a shit about draft picks to begin with. He wants all the veterans he can get. Not saying he's going to win with them, but he still wants them.
Let's get old and older. Right.
Another point on Philly.
Not trying to develop.
I'm glad they kept that 21st pick in this trade that they have this year because that's my prime spot for the Celtics to package those 2 late picks and move up to 21 and pick another guy in the middle area there. I think that's more likely than them moving into the lottery. No, all right. We're going to disagree over that, but we might as well save it for later.
Bob, John, you go.
No, go.
No, I was going to say, Bob, we're talking about draft picks. I don't know if we got a few minutes before it starts, but I mean, at 14, who are you happy to see there? Have you got a couple guys in mind?
I got 2. And there's 3, but one's probably going to go just short of there. Devin Vassell, who I like, shooter and defender. But RJ Hampton, who the Celtics have been in heavy on, he fits Ainge's mold. He's a top 5 high school recruit out of high school, much like Langford, which, I know you guys are going to be happy to hear that one. But, played overseas first. Yeah, he's got everything in there. I don't think he's not an injury guy either, which is good. But that's a guy who could have been a top 10 pick out of high school, going at 14. That's what you look for there.
Were we just talking about the draft? I just zoned out.
Yeah, who's your other guy?
Precious.
Hey, Bobby, let me ask you this, and I know no one's gonna get all crazy about this or get excited, but
I got something for you guys too in a minute. So go ahead, Joe. Let me jump in.
Something's trading up for number 10. Like, okay, it's not a big deal, but with the Phoenix Suns, they just got the new point guard, Hall of Fame guard. Maybe a 2-for-1. They're only gonna move down four slots.
It's not the number, Josue. It's the guy. We need a hero. You know what I mean? Like last year, they wanted Tyler Hero.
That guy. Yeah.
Everybody knew it. And
you mean literally a hero? Oh, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Well,
what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what the spot is. When you think your guy's about to go, you do everything you can to get up to that. And if you can't get there, you stand.
And that's where the Celtics are gonna be. Who's there at 10? Who's there at 11?
When it's there,
there's gonna be guys.
After Hampton, who are the other wings that you like? Because there's one that I like.
John,
I like Devin Vassell, Patrick Williams.
Who do they like?
Jimmy, should you and I jump in another room and have a different
who's your guy? Who's your guy, Joseph?
I'm soliciting commenters for their picks because I
got something for you guys. It's good. It's good.
What about the Villanova? The Trags will love him.
Talk about this stuff. Go.
Sadiq Bey. Yeah, that guy can shoot like crazy.
That's the kind of shooter that I would like to see, but I don't know if that's going to necessarily translate, or at least he seems more NBA ready compared to some of these other guys. No,
I want a shooter, an athlete, or a Greek guy. If I get one of those things, I'm okay.
I think the Celtics go up to 10. They could grab
in that order, please.
I really believe that.
Let me throw this out real quick. Steve Bullpet, okay? Everybody knows who Steve Bullpet is cozy with, all right?
What is it?
Tweets this a little while ago. Little Blues Brothers gif of John Belushi. We're putting the band back together. And his tweet is this. Certainly looks like Celtics are poised to make some moves, but could this be Ainge's quote at the end of the week, saying getting the band back together? Not basing this on any inside info, he says, wink, wink. But would finding a way to add Isaiah Thomas off the bench and Aaron Baines be enough to get the Celtics over the top in the East? And I know fans love both of those things. Bobby just made a face.
The Baines stuff's gotten out of control. Like, what was he here? He was a good, 6th, 7th man.
Tommy, if nothing else.
All right, I'll give you guys both of that.
No, I'd take him. Let me
ask you this. Name another former Celtic that left the team and played better after leaving Brad Stevens. I mean, go down the list. Evan Turner, Al Horford. I mean, he's the only guy. So naturally, fans are like, yo, bring him back. I get it.
Baines went 9 for 14 from 3 in a game. I could not. That was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
His best season in Phoenix. I mean, why not? I don't hate it.
Phoenix fans were ready to send Ayton packing for Baines. It'd be fine. $5 million. It's good. But again, he was here, and they didn't go to the finals with a pretty good team. So it's not like he's going to solve everything.
Yeah. All right. I'm
not calling him an upgrade. I'm not calling him an upgrade over Tice, but
Yeah, he wouldn't start over Tice either. That's the other thing.
No, I don't think I take Tice over him.
Is there a scenario where the Warriors would be interested in Hayward now if Klay is?
So I thought about that.
Okay, well, we
talked about it.
I think the problem is they pick too. They pick too high. Like,
would you take Klay Thompson's corpse and just not play with him this year?
No.
I don't think they would trade Klay, but would they acquire?
You might as well punch Hayward in the face on his way out. Jesus.
Okay.
Our boy Tyree weighing in here.
You're gonna take a beat up Thompson over a healthy, or when he feels like healthy?
No. I'm not saying. I'm just saying, is there interest from the? If you're looking to move up in the draft or a draft, or if you're trying to get picks involved, is that something that the Warriors would be interested in?
I don't know.
I'll take.
Really fast. It's almost 8:00, so we're gonna wrap it.
Question? I would take a broken Klay Thompson to answer your question. Yes, I would.
That'll be something that happens. That'll be something that happens later. You're not going to see the Warriors do anything rash tonight.
Bye, Bobby.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, why'd you kick Bobby out?
I've just had it with that kid. He had it coming. No. I
don't want no more draft talk.
We'll see him again.
Did I do it? Is he there? No.
He's coming now.
He's trying.
So we'll be back.
So what are we doing here? The next pick?
I would take Klay Thompson on one leg over a healthy Gordon Hayward in his prime.
Thank you.
I would too.
Same thing.
I would too. I would absolutely do it.
I would take a very high Klay Thompson over.
You could pick a player, break his leg, trade Gordon for him, and I'm okay with it. You could break his leg after the deal.
Chances are Gordon's is broken.
I get it though. His offense is so thirsty for that sort of knockdown shooter that it's just like, when are they gonna get it? Like, when are they gonna give him what that offense needs so badly?
Yeah.
Klay Thompson.
Maybe in this draft.
That's it.
Maybe somebody. What did Bobby say? Precious.
Give me a 2007 Ray Allen. Jeez.
Yeah. We can hang another minute or two. We got a lot of people in here. And so
any more comments on who they want? We need
we're
Bobby
we're in the cold open, but we're not doing anything yet. Somebody's singing. It's going to be a while before anything happens, so we can hang for a little bit longer.
It's going to be like 10 minutes, bro.
How about this Bogdan news? So Bogdan's out in Milwaukee now.
That was another one. So there was a really loose rumor tonight involving Giannis and the Celtics, which I think is ludicrous. Okay.
Okay.
But somebody's report, they got thrown into teams who are going to be jumping in and diving in, and the Celtics got mentioned in there, and who knows what that's about. But regardless, then that news that the trade blew up because somebody at the Bucks effed up, and they never talked to Bogdan, who doesn't really want to go to Milwaukee, and now it's confirmed he's going to enter restricted free agent. So
yeah, I don't blame him. You guys ever been to freaking California?
And now we've got breaking news from Connor Reed. He's going to be traded to the Hawks. I'm telling you, Gordon Hayward to the Hawks is bullshit. It is not a real thing.
Now it is, but it was.
It never was. It never was.
That it was.
It doesn't pass the smell test. He would have just opted out and signed with them. That's my belief. And Connor, who just broke the Bogdan story.
Yeah, but
Connor's telling us Giannis to the season 2021. So I'm going to believe this guy. I'm all in.
It's going to be legit.
You think you want it to happen? You want to believe it?
I don't want to go anywhere.
Believe it.
Confirmation bias, they call it, Jimmy. We all do it.
I know, but we've also all read these like notebooks, right? These NBA notebooks where guys just kind of throw things at the wall, and guys like us pick something out of it, and it gets written up in their own articles and gets 10 million page views. I don't know if that's what this was, but to say that the Celtics will be in on Giannis, they better be in on Giannis. Every freaking NBA team better be in on Giannis. That doesn't mean that Giannis is in on them or that there's actually a chance. I mean, plenty would have to happen before then. And yeah, I think the report said that Giannis. Oh no, I think it was Tony Maz said he heard that Giannis reached out to Jason Tatum just about. I don't even know what, but apparently he reached out to Jason Tatum. That's according to Tony Maserati. So,
who reached out to Jason Tatum?
Giannis apparently reached out to Jason. About what? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, those two are talking. It can't be a bad thing.
I do not believe in Gordon Hayward's market. I'm just going to tell you that.
I will say this: every Celtics Bucks game I've been to over the last few years happens to fall on Greek night at the TD Garden. So I don't know if that's hey, shout out to the Celtics and TD Garden. That's not tampering. That is not tampering.
Yeah.
Look at our Greek culture here in Boston. John, you can vouch for it. I mean, geez.
We've got it. We have two. We've got two of us. It's me and Corrales.
Yeah, you're looking for a third. Giannis.
Where do you go? Do you go to that?
But I speak Greek, okay? Giannis and I.
Danny's.
No, I'm the real deal.
Danny is going to bring you to his recruiting meeting. Now that Olynyk's not around.
You guys got to wine and dine him. Bring him to Needham Street. That Greek spot.
I'm the real deal. Yeah. You want the good stuff?
Celtics.
Head to Sophia's in Belmont. Great yogurt and all the good imported stuff. I made a trip there today. I always do once a week. Yeah.
No free ads.
Yeah.
Oh, they might have. I haven't been there. I used to go to this one in Newton. I don't know.
Yeah, Yorgo, Fakos. Elinas, εδώ.
Last comment said, should the Celtics just be working on an extension with Gordon Hayward? I don't know. I don't think so. I think they would have already had it by now. What's the holdup?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like extensions.
So again, my belief was that, Jimmy. It was the Atlanta stuff. Oh, torn Achilles. I don't know if it's real or not, but somebody just said that. Anyway,
that would make sense.
That would make
lower
sense.
Leg.
The no weight on it whatsoever. Nebulous lower leg. We lost just. Well, I'm not doing this. I swear.
Wow, it's just me and you now.
Yeah.
The two guys who don't have a damn clue about the draft.
Oh, Josue's back. Anyway, so
Jeez.
You're back.
I'm back.
Can I hear him? I can't hear him. Damn it.
I'll leave and come back.
No, now Jimmy has to leave. We're going to do this shuffle one more time.
All right.
We'll try this one more time. You got me, right, Josue?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I don't believe the Gordon thing is real, and I think that's, if anything, the reason of the delay was hopefully to put a little pressure on the Celtics to see if he can extend here.
Okay. What about now, though? I mean, like in all seriousness, if you're the Golden State Warriors, I mean, you wouldn't benefit from a player like Gordon Hayward if it's a torn Achilles. He's out for the year. This is your comeback year. The Warriors have to think quick here.
I got to tell you something else.
I know Hayward's not at the top of their list, but if you're Danny, you got to make some phone calls and see what you can pull off.
I just tweeted Bobby's tweeting right now. Hey Bobby, where the F are you? We're live, buddy.
Yeah, he dipped on us.
This guy, you can't skip class and then go Instagram live. The teachers are gonna find out. You know what I mean? Like, dude just bounced at 8 o'clock.
Instagram live during lunchtime when you called out.
It's like, we're gonna see that shit, Bobby. It's social media. It's everywhere.
Unbelievable.
It's embarrassing.
I'm gonna tweet him the link.
It's embarrassing.
I'm like, have you seen this? Have you seen this show, man? It's great.
Yeah.
This guy bailed on his own show just so he could tweet, and this is his tweet. This is his tweet. It was, I don't even know what the hell he's talking about, to be completely honest. Oh, Jesus. I don't even. Kudos to Ainge and company. Don't know how you balance Hayward negotiation, his desired destinations, contract numbers, and who's available where tonight. All that makes a Hayward deal unlikely tonight. Okay.
Save
Thanks,
it for
Bob.
the stream, kid.
Thanks, Bob.
He went in there to
he didn't say that on camera.
He went in there to get some points with Danny.
Yeah, like Danny's not looking at your.
Danny's not on your Twitter, Bobby.
He's in the war zone right now.
I'm gonna start calling around for a new fourth here. Okay.
Fire it up.
All right, so let's recap again before we wrap it here. And thank you for everybody for joining. It's a fun group. I want to tell everybody who's on the stream right now before we do wrap. Anytime there's any movement on something, if the Celtics are rumored to make a move or they trade up into a spot, we're going to jump on here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to take you right through it live. Might be a little distracted. We'll be following along as you are as well. But we'll just kind of make it a group effort, interactive experience. Same thing. We'll jump on if they stick at 14. We're going to jump on at around pick 12 or so, and just hang until they make their deal, and then talk about that as well. And the same thing later on in the draft. So we're going to pop up live 2, 3, 4 times. If you don't subscribe already, subscribe to our YouTube channel right now.
Smash it. And
turn on the notifications. The second we go live, bing, you get pinged. You'll see it. We'll talk about it and we'll break it all down. And that's that. What's up, Jimmy?
So we're going live after like every pick they make too.
That's what I'm saying. If there's a trade or they're about to, right when they go on the clock, we'll jump on there a little bit before they go on the clock, and we'll talk all the way through it. Who's left? Bobby's big board. See who he likes.
Bobby's a Hampton guy and a Precious guy. I mean, Precious?
Yeah. People like that guy.
Precious? Do we? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Precious.
Josue, closing thoughts before we go?
Celtics fans, cross your fingers and hope for the best. I don't know. I don't feel
wow.
coming out of this better than they were when they walked in, but hopefully I'm wrong.
The Celtics motto, we'll do our best.
Right. That's pretty much what Danny's saying.
We'll see. And again, I know the run it back crowd. There's quite a few people on here talking about it. It's not the worst thing in the world because it's a good
game. I must have
my
Celtics hoodie on right now. I mean, I kind of remember I was saying at the end of the last broadcast the other night. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's the best move at this point.
It's a good team, but you just can't let Gordon play and walk. It just can't happen. Cannot happen. And you can't draft 3 guys. So we're going to know a lot about this team in a few hours, and it's going to be really interesting. So even if nothing happens, something happened, because that's a big deal.
Something will happen.
If nothing happens, how do you get to that table across from Gordon Hayward and say, yeah, we came up short, but hey, we love you, man. Like, please,
trade everybody. Kim, Kemba, like that.
I mean, yeah,
Hayward can still opt in, and they can still trade him. So I mean, like, this isn't over. Right?
Oh no, the only way I think he's not. I don't think opting in is he's probably gonna do a new deal with the Celtics. No, you think he'd actually still opt in at this point?
Maybe.
I don't know. Why not?
It's if you don't like the extension being offered, there is no sign and trade out there, and you say, I'll take 34 and roll the dice on the market next year, that's your play. If the Celtics offer is something like 3 and 55, screw it. 3 and 60. I'll make half that in 1 year, and then whatever I get after that is gravy, and you play your way into a better contract, and you have total freedom.
So if you're Hayward, you're saying pretty much, I dare you to try to trade me because there's no way you're going to be able to pull it off.
It's not.
That's the only way he thinks about it.
This is just like Al's situation in terms of the money. It's what we think he's worth, what we think the Celtics could and should theoretically extend him for, versus what the market is, what one team is willing to pay him. And if one team is willing to pay him that, he opts out and takes it. If they're not, he opts in and then rolls the dice again next year.
Yeah. It seems like a long time ago, but
when he opts in, you lose all your trade leverage. You lose a lot of trade leverage there. So,
but if you're Gordon Hayward, you're signing and you sign an extension. You're signing that extension based on your injury history and the way things haven't really panned out this season. And I know it's a big if he does stay healthy. We know what he's capable of when he's healthy, I think, anyways. I mean, he had long stretches of health this third year of his contract, and the Celtics were playing great basketball. If he can maintain that in his fourth season, all of a sudden he's going into his free agency year on a much better note than he is right now, right? So, I mean, there are benefits to him just opting into a one-year deal, betting on yourself.
Yeah. Emerging at the top of the
Timberwolves. The cards.
Woj just tipped the pick, and here's Silver. Anthony Edwards, pick number 1. We're going to disappear. You know what? You guys want to hang through Golden State?
Sure.
Yeah. They're on the clock. Might as well wait.
Let's hang through Golden State because this is interesting here. If nothing happens, we'll jump back out, and then we'll see what happens after that.
What's up with these tweets now? Like, Woj is getting like poetic on us. Like,
that happened last year.
No,
that was the joke. They told broadcast partners not to tip him, so Woj was like, "Screw that! This is how I make my money."
You're right.
So we started doing it in these ways.
Okay.
Being at the top of the Timberwolves draft board for number 1, Anthony Edwards, per sources. So instead of actually tipping it, he'd said something like that.
Something funny. Okay. So now we got the Warriors. Now we got the Warriors, who may or may not be picking without their all-star guard.
Yes, Bobby, we're still on. He's texting me.
Yeah, dude. Like, you're on Twitter. You must see us on.
Tell him we got Danny on for 5 minutes.
Man. I don't know. I mean, Anthony Edwards was considered. Well, I guess some people.
Bobby has one reply to the tweet that you mentioned, Jimmy. You want to know what it is?
What?
The kudos to Ancient Company that he tweeted when he should have been on this show.
Yeah.
The response was, "Why are you giving him and his stupid son props for failing?"
Wah, wah. There you go, Bob. Hope it was worth it.
Take that, Bob.
Dude, Celtics fans are going to be hilarious tonight. I'm telling you, they're so bad.
Oh, my God. What a bloodbath.
It started last night. It pretty much started last night.
A bloodbath on Twitter that was, huh?
Yeah, that was tough.
Tough.
I
mean, Celtics fans were tearing each other apart.
It was ugly. You hate to see that. You really do. Everyone's blaming each other.
I remember before it was like the diehard Smart fans and the people who think you shoot too much. Now you can't even tell who's who. Everyone's just crisscrossed and pissed off about one thing or the other with the Celtics.
Yeah.
Who's scheduled? Like who? I mean, I guess it's hard to say now with this injury to Klay. I don't think it's going to change what the Warriors were planning on doing.
I'm seeing Wiseman from one guy, but it's not Woj.
Everyone thought Wiseman was the dunk. The slam dunk for Golden State here. But that was with the notion that this team with a healthy Klay needs that big, and he can fit in that lineup and be okay. Even if he is raw and has a lot of room to grow, it was the right fit for him. So they could bring him in. I again, this is where I wonder if their thinking has changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what are you doing here? You're not doing LaMelo.
No, I can't imagine. That would be.
This is where I'm calling and trying to get the F out of the 2 spot if I'm Golden State.
Well, Wiseman's still there. I mean, they're
gonna take Wiseman.
Could use a center, right? I mean, why not?
Maybe they deal him after, but you take him right now.
Obi Toppin?
You think he goes?
I mean, he's only because he's a guy that's been talked about in the
Jams
top 5.
Tipped it. James Wiseman, number 2. So no trade as of yet. Celtics.
So the injury did not affect.
2. They want to get up into 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't see that happening. Let's sign off here. If something happens, we'll jump right back on. I honestly don't believe trades are really complicated. I don't think anything happens. So we'll be back up right around the time the Celtics pick, if not a little bit before, to kind of
we'll do
on the board. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get on like the pick before.
I think we'll get on right around pick 12 because someone's going to tip it anyway. So we'll see you guys there. That's not going to be too long. So we'll see you guys in 20, 30 minutes. We'll jump back on. Thank you for joining. Again, subscribe. You'll get the alerts. This, again, is presented by Manscaped. Free shipping, code GARDEN20, manscaped.com. We'll see you guys in a little bit.